Hey, what's going on, guys? Cyload here, and welcome to my first Q&A and birthday Q&A. Before I talk more into it, I just want to say thank you everyone for wishing me an early happy birthday. It really means a lot to me, so I just want to say thank you to everyone who has done that. Luckily, I managed to finish this on my birthday. I'm not going to say what age I am. I will just say I am 20 something years old. I also want to thank everyone who asked me questions. I cannot wait to get into this. I've always wanted to do a Q&A, so let's get right into it, shall we? The first question is from Lee, and his first question is: name one character you would get along with. I feel like all the characters I've heard of, the one I'd get along with pretty easily, I have a feeling would be Sora. He is such like a kind character, always willing to make friends with anyone, and always trying to spread positivity to everyone he meets. I've played the Kingdom Hearts games. I've played the third one. I definitely plan on playing the first two. And out of every gameplay I've seen, he's always the kind one. So I definitely have a feeling I'd get along with him pretty dang easily, because I could definitely use some positivity. His next question is: which is your favorite out of the three Sonic movies? I have a feeling my favorite would have to be the third. I saw this open at night with my brother when it first came out on open at night, and I loved this film. I was blown away by the visuals. I really love the whole film altogether. I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but if you haven't and you're a Sonic fan, I highly recommend this film. If you've already watched the first two, it's definitely a great film, and I can't recommend this enough. I'm already looking forward to the fourth film coming out later on in 2027. I'm already ready to book my tickets to this next film. And his last question is: if you made a version of Spider-Man, what would their story be? Definitely not a question I think I'd get asked, but it's a very creative question. If I had to create a Spider-Man, if I was like hypothetically, if I was a comic book writer, I'd probably make a Middle Eastern Spider-Man because I am somewhat part Middle Eastern. And I'd probably give him the same old spider story, losing someone he loves, and with great power comes great responsibility. I'm not really that good of a comic book writer. I never really, I've drawn some comics as a kid, but like I haven't done it in so long, and most of them did not come out well. But I'd probably just give him, losing loved ones and using that as a sign of to create strength inside them. You just your typical old Spider-Man story. You already know it. Our next question is from Sam Starlight Fandubs. She asks, does your skeleton shark profile picture have a backstory to it? This is a really good question, and I'm really glad I have been asked this. The reason why my profile picture is a skeleton of a shark is because ever since I was a kid, I had such love for sharks. I would watch tons of shark movies, good or bad. I'd always watch Shark Week, and I just see tons of documentaries about sharks. I am a huge shark nerd, and I feel like adding a profile picture as a shark is a great way to describe me. But yeah, that's my Jocelyn backstory. Her final question is: what are your top 3 favorite characters to voice? This is a very good question that I was definitely not expected to be asked this. I feel like my top 3 favorite characters to voice are: number 3 would be Ian Lightfoot. I love this character. He's a shy guy trying to find friends in an awkward way. He's definitely me in a nutshell. I definitely am going to try and do more dubs of him soon. Number 2 would be, I'd probably have to say Sora. I love playing his character. Like I said, he's a kind-hearted person trying to spread positivity, and I love playing characters like that. And my final one has to be Miles Morales. I love this character and his character arc. Every time I play him, I always have a blast with it. Probably my favorite part about voicing him is getting to do his like girl-like screams. It always like makes me laugh, and a lot of you guys laugh too, and it just brings me such joy hearing that. And he's definitely one of my like most relatable characters, which is another reason why I love voicing him so much. Our next question is from Haley, and Haley asks, who or what inspired you to voice act? There's one person who first inspired me to act, and that would be Roy Scheider. He was a huge hit in the 70s when he was in Jaws, all that jazz, The French Connection, and The Marathon Man. But as I begin to age, there are other actors that I loved that also inspired me to voice act, like Shamik Moore, Stephen Yoon, and a ton of more. That if I were to explain, we'd probably be here all day, and this would probably be like a 1 hour video. Our next question is, if you were a fruit or a vegetable, which one would you be? I'd probably have to say fruit. I'm more of a fruit person than I am a vegetable person. And the last question is, what is your favorite Disney movie? I actually had a different answer for this question as I was editing this video, but I changed it because of this recent movie I saw. So with how bad Disney's doing right now with their movies and all that, I kind of thought of like going back and like watching some old Disney movies I've never seen before. And I gotta keep a bucket list on like what I'm watching or what films I want to watch. But there's just one movie that caught my eye, and it's probably one of Disney's most underrated films. The film is called Treasure Planet. I recently saw this film, and I gotta say, I really liked the way this movie came out. It was such a good film. Some parts of the film kind of give me like Back to the Future type vibes, which kind of makes sense. And another thing I really love about this film is the fact that it takes place in a futuristic world in the 18th century. It's like such a creative plot and setting. And all the characters I love. I love the actors, the story, some twists. It's just such a good, well-made film. And the music. The music gives such adventure vibes when you hear it. It's just such a breathtaking film that I just don't have the words to explain on how good it is. All I can say is that if you love adventure films yourself, I can definitely recommend giving this film a watch to see what you think of it. Our next question is from Sir Rusty. He asks, what is your favorite song from the Sonic game series? I'm gonna be honest, I'd have to say Reach for the Stars. Sonic Colors was one of my first Sonic games I've played. I got to play it on the Wii, and hearing the intro with the song that we all know, it just makes me want to levitate, I guess you could say. And it's a really good game. I really liked it, with the song making it 10 times better. And that's really my favorite song from the all the Sonic game series for now. His next question is, what character do you relate to the most? I'm going to have to say Miles, which is another reason why I love playing him more than any other characters, because I can relate to him, you know? We both love hip-hop. We both are trying to look for friends to hang around with, and we always want to do the right thing. And I just love that about him, and that's why I love playing him. And his final question is, what are your top 3 favorite movies? This was a question I definitely predict would be on this list. For number 3, I'm going to have to go with the movie The Fabelmans. I really love this film. The drama is just so well put together, and what makes me love this film even more is it's based off of Spielberg's life. And almost everything you're seeing happen, that's what makes the film more interesting, because I'm a huge fan of movies that are based off of true stories. The cast just does a phenomenal work when playing their roles. For number 2, I have to say the Spider-Verse franchise. I'm sure a lot of people were expecting this to be on my number 1 list, but there is one movie I like better than this. But don't get me wrong, this film is very, very good. And I'm sure we all know why at this point, considering how this film changed animation forever and inspired so many other companies to make movies of their own with similar art styles. I really love the screenplay in the film and how well the story goes. And the cast is very, very stacked. I'm sure we all know by now why this film is very, very good. Because it took the world by storm ever since the first one came out in December of 2018. Following with its sequel during summer of 2023. Both did so well with the box office, and both were praised for its work by critics and viewers. And scenes where the third one is coming out June 4th, 2027. I cannot wait to see how this trilogy comes to a close. And finally, my number one spot is Jaws. Scenes where most of you know that I love sharks now, I'm sure this film does not come to a surprise at all. This is probably one of the only good shark films out there, because this film took the world by storm when it first came out. It was so well received from critics, and everybody was just pushing each other out of the way to see this film when it first came out. The movie is so well good, from its chilling suspense to its iconic shark attacks and memorable characters, all while exploring themes of fear and human agency, making it such a cultural phenomenon that continues to captivate audiences all over the world. And those are my top 3 favorite movies. Our next question is from Shadow of Love. Shadow asks, what's your favorite content genre? I'd probably have to say adventure. I love adventurous movies, and they hook me in so well. I'm always down to watch a movie about characters going on a journey and accomplishing what they want to do. Movies like Tintin, Onward, Up, and a ton of other movies I love because they are adventure movies. Seeing an adventure movie kind of feels like it's taking you into a whole different world, and I love that about adventure films. Her next question is, what was the favorite age of your childhood? I'd probably have to say maybe 15, 16. I loved my teen years mainly. I had a lot of friends to talk to then. We did some silly things like all teenagers do, and it was such a blast for me. And although we moved on, I wish them the best of luck. And I'm very thankful for all the good memories they gave me. Our next question is from Chris. Chris asks, what were some of your favorite shows / movies / video games of your childhood? My favorite shows were Ben 10, Phineas and Ferb, Regular Show. As for movies, Land Before Time, All Dogs Go to Heaven, Ice Age, Monsters Inc., Cars, Up, Happy Feet, and a ton of more. The next question is, who are some voice actors you would love to work with? If you're comfortable doing so, you could even include those who are no longer with us. Rip to them. I'd probably have to say voice actors like Shamik Moore, Steven Yeun, Jim Carrey, Ben Schwartz, and the list goes on. But those are the actors, or some of the actors I kind of look up to. I love their performance in action movies, comedy movies. But yeah, those are the people who I'd probably want to work with. And the final question, the most insane question of all, okay? It's not that serious, but still. Is The Nightmare Before Christmas a Halloween movie or a Christmas movie? This is probably going to be very embarrassing to say, but I've never seen this movie before. And I know. I definitely need to watch this movie. I've heard a lot of good things about this movie, and I love how it's a stop-motion animation film. I'm a big fan of those types of movies, so I'll definitely add it to my watch list. As for what I know, the film takes place in Halloween Town and follows the protagonist, Jack Skellington. And I'd probably have to say it's a Christmas movie from what I know. The central plot revolves around Jack Skellington's obsession with Christmas and, his attempts to take over the holiday. Even though the movie is set in Halloween Town with Halloween characters, also the film ends on Halloween and I believe makes way to Christmas, so that's another reason why I'd probably say it's a Christmas movie. Our next question is from Mally. Mally asks, what is your opinion on Pepollo? I don't know. Forgive me if I'm pronouncing that wrong. Well, the research I did is I found out, I believe it's like a music genre. But I've listened to some of the songs or musics. They're decent. But I'm more of a hip hop, rock, and pop type of person. I'm not really into that stuff, if I'm being completely honest. And our final question is from Golden Hexagon. Golden asks, have you ever played Genshin Impact or Wuthering Waves? If so, what's your opinion on these two games? I've never played Wuthering Waves, but I have played Genshin Impact for a bit, and I can say it's a good game, but it's not my type of game. I'm not really into those gacha games, if I'm being honest. I had a friend of mine who begged me to play it or give it a try, and I did, but I think I only played for 50 minutes, 1 hour at tops, and then I just decided to give it a break. Plus, it's a lot of gigabytes of RAM, and I just decided to just not play it. But as for the game wise, I'd have to say it's a pretty decent game for players to play. I'm not gonna lie. I'd have to say it's a good game for players to play, or those who are fans of gacha games. And that's it. Those are all the questions that were commented. I want to thank everyone who took the time to participate in the Q&A. I'm very thankful. Thank you, everyone, for the happy birthdays. It's been really fun to be in a community like this with tons of talented people, and I love meeting new people every single day in this community. So I want to say thank you to everyone for making me be a part of this community with you guys, and I cannot wait to see how my channel becomes in the future. I can't wait to see what other projects I make, what other projects I'll be a part of, and I'm really excited for the future. So thank you everybody so much, and I hope you all have an amazing day. Goodbye.